here on the midweek wrap-up, we are going to talk about two shows in which a majority of the matches were hard-hitting exploits between people who just wanted to fuck each other up.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's a very violent midweek wrap-up this week.
Yeah, it was just a lot of matches that probably could main event just about any card, anywhere.
Probably.
And then a lot of physicality.
Yeah. And we started off with very personal issues in the women's division on NXT, as we saw Ember Moon take on Ruby Riott. We were lucky enough to see this match in person just a few days ago.
Yeah, after it had been polished a few weeks.
Yeah. With that being said, this match was still fantastic. Yeah. These ladies' chemistry is unbelievable. Both of them looking to really prove that they deserve the spot to face Asuka. Ember feels slighted because she got pulled out of the last match. Ruby feels slighted because she hasn't had the one-on-one shot yet. So both of them have very valid points, and they just went to war with each other. A fantastic battle of very similar styles, but still signatures all their own, and they complement each other so well. But they have been making the big deal that Ember Moon has been pretty much undefeated through most of NXT, and she is really focused on being the one to dethrone Asuka, and she did end up hitting the Eclipse and defeated Ruby Riott.
Yeah, they blend together well because they're both extremely technically savvy. Ember just hits a little bit more on the side of athleticism.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's what helped her eke out the win.
Yeah, the unpredictability of Ruby Riott is really nice, but finesse is sometimes the way to victory.
Yeah.
And then we found out that next week we're going to get more personal issues as Cassius Ohno has requested a match against Hideo Itami.
Yeah, Hideo didn't seem thrilled at the idea.
No, he ended up hitting a trash can, knocking the lid off of it, while Cassius was trying to do an interview for, I assume, WWE.com. So that will be happening next week. And this week, we had Oney Lorcan versus Danny Burch.
Yes.
Immediately when this was brought up, we were like, okay, this is going to be physical. But I think it got more physical than I expected.
Yeah. It took a second. I think it took a second for them to gel. The beginning was a little slow. And then we hit this point where it seemed like they stopped giving fucks.
Oh, yeah.
And then, they just started throwing each other and themselves around.
The first one initially was that low-running European uppercut that Oney did, where he didn't care where Danny was. He just fucking threw it and, rolled over him. And then Danny with that nasty powerbomb later on that just kind of, Oney just flailed in the air until he crashed down to the mat. It was intense, and they gave no fucks whatsoever. Danny got busted open after a couple of forearm shots, and it was just physicality all the way through. And Oney ended up kind of countering. I can't remember what move set up for. Oh, he was trying to go for a top rope.
Yeah.
He's trying to go off the top rope, ended up rolling out of it. Danny came at him, and he back rolled into a single leg Boston Crab, which Danny immediately tapped out to. Very smart. So, I mean, there was so much physicality here, and Danny felt like he could have done better, and so he challenged Oney Lorcan to one more match. We don't know when it's going to be, but Oney said, hell yeah, I'm up for it.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for it too, because
it's rad.
Because if this match was any indication of how good it's going to be, I have a feeling this next match is going to be even longer,
Probably.
and potentially even more violent.
Yeah, I had mentioned this while we were talking about it while it was going on. I appreciated how fast Danny Burch tapped out to the half Boston Crab.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things you don't get very often. Because now everybody thinks in order to make everything dramatic and up that value, you have to hang on, and keep a submission hold on for so long before you either, eventually tap out or the ref has to stop the match or whatever.
Not many people believe in the live to fight another day mentality.
Well, and for me, it's just like, we don't, like in WWE, we don't have any more submission holds that immediately make people tap out.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're used to, back in the day, it was like, when Ken Shamrock put on the ankle lock.
Oh, yeah.
People were immediately tapping out because we were to believe that, like, it was immediately the most painful thing you've ever felt.
I mean, Jericho, with the Walls of Jericho, he's won so many titles with that simple submission, and now he can barely keep it on his opponent for more than however long it takes them to get to the ropes or reverse out of the move.
Yeah.
And you have to have that impact is what people thrive on as far as like what's going to solidify a match, and it's the art of the submission is lost very much so in the world of WWE.
Yeah, so like to have a submission finish that feels like an actual lethal like finishing move.
Yeah.
Even if it's as simple as a half Boston Crab.
Yeah.
When somebody taps out that fast, and we go, oh shit, that move starts to feel legitimate again.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to another match between these two. Maybe we're even setting up for like an undercard, potential undercard takeover match between these two.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. That'd be a great opener if you got these two just fucking throwing blows at each other for 15 minutes. Be a good way to start. Then we had No Way Jose make his way back to TV after a little bit of an absence, taking on recent surprise winner Cesar Bononi, who got a win over Andrade a couple months ago. And these two had a pretty good battle between the two of them.
Yeah.
Two of the taller guys on the NXT roster. Cesar actually about an inch or so taller than No Way Jose. But No Way Jose, he cares about his in-ring work a little bit more than Andrade, and ended up pulling out the win against Cesar Bononi with the pop-up punch. And it didn't take long as No Way Jose started to dance his way back to the locker room that Andrade, feeling slighted after losing to Cesar Bononi, made his way out with Thea Trinidad, who they said her first name, it might be Uma, I don't know for sure, but he proceeded to beat down Cesar Bononi, and No Way Jose's like, what the hell are you doing? And started to go back down to the ring, but Andrade and Thea decided to take off before anything else happened. She seems to be much more okay with Andrade, because the last two times we've seen them, she's been yelling. And this time she seemed very confident in what he was doing. So I think she might have potentially got him back on track. So we'll see where that ends up going. Are you looking up her name?
So, whether or not this ends up being her TV name.
Okay.
At the NXT house shows, she's been wrestling under the ring name Zelina Vega.
Zelina, that's a cool name. I'm pretty sure that either Nigel or Mauro called her Uma or Uda or something like that. It seemed, I don't know, he might have said Zelina real fast. I don't know.
I think he was just saying something else.
Just trying to make it sound like he knew something.
Yeah.
I think it was Nigel who said it.
I just think it was somebody like
feeding him a line.
Stumbling over his words.
Possibly. But regardless, I'm sure we'll see potentially a rematch between Cesar and Andrade, or we'll start doing something between Andrade and No Way Jose.
Yeah.
And then in our main event, we had a number one contenders match. The winner going on to NXT Brooklyn 3 to face Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. The only two undefeated men in... Oh, no.
Not the only two.
Of the undefeated men in NXT, Drew McIntyre versus Killian Dain. And holy heavyweight.
Yeah.
These two, it was just a big old, like, it was like watching a monster movie. These two are huge, they're heavy hitting, they don't pull punches, and they just like to ruin other people.
And they both powerbombed each other.
Yes, they did.
Powerbomb was move of the night.
Yeah, no, I was surprised to see Killian Dain get up in a powerbomb position and then get just fucking drilled. And then that jackknife he gave to Drew McIntyre was pretty awesome.
I'm going to be honest. The jackknife variation on a powerbomb, I think, is an underutilized variation on the powerbomb.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely, Dane did a really good job pulling it off. But I think one of the things that benefits the jackknife powerbomb is a taller individual doing it.
Like Kevin Nash.
Yeah, because that's the whole point, is you're just dropping them.
Yeah.
It's not like a throw
you're not throwing them. You're literally like just chucking them out there and just letting them fall on their own.
Yeah.
So yeah, the height advantage definitely benefits the move, but I mean, I think just the fact...
They had great form.
The carelessness, I feel like the carelessness that it looks like you're putting into a jackknife worked really well for Dane.
Yeah.
And Dane also had this like, I'm not going down for anything you throw at me moment.
Yeah, the very end of the match.
Yeah, because I mean it was pretty back and forth, and then Drew started to get a little bit momentum, hit the future shock, and
Dane kicked out at 1.
Yeah. And so everyone starts going, okay, wait a second, and like Dane's just like slapping himself in the head. He's like trying to get himself all fired back up, and Drew goes, okay, fine, I can play this. Runs, boom, hits the Claymore kick, which they're calling.
Yeah,
which is nice. Hits the Claymore kick, 1, 2. He kicks out of the Claymore kick, and at this point, Drew's like,
well, I don't even think he went for a pin after the first Claymore kick.
Oh, because he just
knocked him down, and he immediately started getting back up.
Yeah, he's just slapping himself in the head again, and Drew's like, what the fuck? And so then he just like stomped a little harder, ran, and hit a second Claymore.
While Dane was on his knees.
Yeah, he's just yelling at Drew to hit him, and that finally took out Dane. So Drew McIntyre is going on to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 to face Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship.
Which should be a fun match to watch.
That should be fantastic. And now Killian Dain is no longer undefeated.
Yeah. So now we got Drew Galloway and Aleister Black.
Yeah. Aleister Black is the other undefeated guy on the roster.
And whoever wins between Drew Galloway and Aleister Black has to fight Asuka.
Probably not.
No?
No. I mean, I'd watch it. I want Aleister Black versus Asuka.
That'd be fun to watch.
Personal preference. But yeah, fantastic episode of NXT, and we move on to another round of second round matches in the Cueto Cup.
A episode of Lucha Underground that I would say is equally and or even more fantastic than NXT was, because I mean, we got off to a little bit of a bumpy start because we had the second round match between Cage and Pindar, which lasted all about a minute because Cage got mad at the referee and just punched him away.
There wasn't really any like action between Cage and Pindar. It was just like all of a sudden Cage just couldn't stand this referee.
Yeah, and he forearm, like he clotheslined him or something, and then it looked like he was starting to go after Pindar. So I think he hit him a couple times. Then he set up like he was going to go for that Suit Falcon Arrow style move that he does. And then the referee, after being yelled at by Cobra Moon...
Yeah, Cobra Moon's like, you got to do your job. You got to do this right. And he fucking rang the bell.
Disqualifies Cage, and Cage then averts his complete attention from Pindar.
Yeah, Pindar and Cobra Moon just take off.
Back to Justin Borden.
Yeah, Justin Borden, referee Justin Borden.
Who ended up then taking that Falcon Arrow from Cage.
Yeah. It was not a good night to be Justin Borden.
Nope.
It also, for a little bit, wasn't a good night to be Son of Havoc. Because as he made his way down to the ring to face Dante Fox, he was attacked once again by Son of Madness.
Yeah.
And Son of Madness choked him with a chain.
And then after that, he looked like he was going to have the advantage on Son of Madness because he dumped him over the barricade into the bleachers and dove on him, and he was beating him up. And then he went for this, like, off the balcony kind of, like, crossbody thing, but Son of Madness had wrapped the bike chain around his fist and just decked him out of the air.
Yeah, and so, he's out.
Potentially concussed.
Son of Madness just gets the hell out of there at that point, jumps back up, jumps over the barricade, he's gone. And then Dario Cueto comes out and says, hey, I understand that you're in a situation right now, Havoc, but I can't let this detour my tournament, so you either need to forfeit or you need to say you're going to get in this match. And so it took him a couple seconds, but Havoc said, fuck yeah, I'm going to get in the ring. And then him and Dante Fox proceed to have a fucking killer match.
Yeah, and if there was no other indicator that it was a killer, other than anything else, it had to have been the Death Valley driver from the ring apron to the floor by Son of Havoc.
Dante took the worst bump. I mean, not only that, but like early on, he took that wheelbarrow into the fucking guardrail too. Like, Dante Fox was dealing with a really pissed off Son of Havoc.
Yeah.
He got a lot of really fucked up offense done to him. And it was just, I mean, and these are another pair of guys that have just impeccable timing with each other.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both, similar style indie guys that do a lot of the same, they travel in the same region a lot. The Midwest area
absolutely
is a big, the stomping ground for Matt Cross and AR Fox.
Yeah, and it showed, and it's fantastic that not only do they get to do this on the indies, but now they get to put it on TV and show everyone what they're capable of. Also, Dante Fox with the distance of all Swanton bombs.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, he got similar distance at the beginning of the match when he dove over the corner post. Almost completely cleared Son of Havoc.
When they go over that corner post, man, it freaks me out every time.
Yeah, the man has just the uncanny ability to generate distance in his jumps.
It's fantastic. And then Son of Havoc got the momentum back on his side. I want another move that Dante Fox did, the springboard Spanish fly.
Yeah.
Dante Fox, this was his fucking match. This is great. He ended up winning because Son of Havoc tries to go for the shooting star. Dante is able to get out of the way, immediately pick him up into the Fox catcher, and Dante Fox is moving on to the next round of the Cueto Cup.
Yeah.
Fan-fucking-tastic. And then we had the introduction of one Benjamin Cook, who is going to be a representative of the Worldwide Underground. PJ Black didn't seem too impressed by him, especially because he was getting ready for his match against Prince Puma. And so essentially what he's going to do is
I wasn't impressed with him.
He was brought in by Johnny and I assume Taya to get mostly just Johnny, because he had a mouthful of Johnny's balls through this entire promo, but he's putting over the fact that he's gonna get so many opportunities for the Worldwide Underground, and they are going to rule Lucha Underground. He doesn't like Ricky Mandel, which is okay, because he's dollar store Johnny Mundo. Johnny Mundo is what Benjamin Cook called him. So yeah, needless to say, he looks like a shady guy who's not really going to do anything for you. And I think PJ Black automatically assumed that upon meeting him for the first time. And to go back to actually the very beginning of the episode, Prince Puma was having visions of like what led to him losing the Lucha Underground Championship the first time, the way the championship is gone, his loss to Mil Muertes, and all these different things. And
Vampiro and creepy makeup.
Yeah, and then Vampiro met him up on the roof.
Enough creepy makeup.
And Puma said, what happens if I don't win that championship? And Vampiro essentially said, you don't have that option. You have to win that championship. And then Puma saw the entirety of the Worldwide Underground entering the temple, and then PJ Black flipped him off. So, needless to say, neither of these guys are very happy going into this match, and they proceeded to take out all their frustrations on each other.
Mm-hmm.
With hard hitting, some fucking amazing, just high-flying moves.
The Danger Rana, both men standing on the top rope.
That's,
Justin Gate, PJ Black, almost.
I do that sometimes too.
Like over-rotating on that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he, instead of landing on a flat bump, he like landed on his hips and ass.
No, and it was just, there was some insane, just really well done viciousness in this match.
Yeah, and a lot of and it's one of the things that both guys excel at individually, so I didn't think it was going to lack at all in this match, is like their ability to put little sequences together of like kicks and sweeps and stuff where they're dodging and ducking and jumping and
their opening sequence was just fantastic. And then you had a little bit of everything too. You had lucha action, you had some great chain wrestling, you had all kinds of things just working magic in this match. And it's as good as the first round of the tournament was, you're really starting to see the best talent move itself forward.
Yeah, and Pindar.
And Pindar. I blame that on Cage. Because I think Pindar's got something he can...
Pindar's got a lot of potential. It's just we haven't seen a whole lot of what he can do.
No, because he's been in tag team matches and then a match against Cage. So, but yeah, no, this, it was insanity all the way through this. And like you said, that Danger Rana is what ended up setting the stage for the end, because Puma was just hitting all these big moves one after the other, and that Danger Rana was kind of the last straw, and then he was able to go up, hit the 630, and Prince Puma is moving forward in the Cueto Cup.
Yeah, the Danger Rana and the 630 was like the sandwiching with a fucking uber low drop kick.
Oh yeah.
That sent PJ just like hurling across the ring.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a 1, 2, 3 of shitty days for PJ Black.
It was the end to a real bad night for PJ Black, but
he got a little bit of a reprieve at the end.
Not more than 5 minutes after the match ended, he was called into Dario's office, where apparently Dario has been getting calls non-stop.
17 of them.
From Benjamin Cook, who apparently is just petitioning for PJ Black to get more action. He needs something. This guy is great. He give him something.
He's trying to win PJ Black over.
Yeah, and so Dario's like, you know what? after that match. I can't put you back into the tournament because that wouldn't be fair, but I can give you a shot to continue to make yourself look good. So next week you'll face the #1 contender, Rey Mysterio.
That should be fun.
I'm excited to see Rey Mysterio versus PJ Black.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Puma will have something to say about Rey being there. I'm sure we'll probably get... Mundo will be very interested in this match, seeing as how he has to defend his championship against Rey in just a few weeks. So, we will see how that plays out next week on Lucha Underground. But for now, guys, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links down in the description.
There's a lot of links.
Also, check out the podcast.
That's one of the links.
Check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable with a W.
Like wrestling. And coming up next, we've got ourselves some Battleground predictions.
Absolutely.
So look forward to that. Check out the other videos we posted throughout the week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck Bononi.